I never believed in science. Not until I moved into room 307. The hostel was old, standing alone near the woods outside a small town in the US. The owner said it used to be a boarding house in the 1940s. Cheap rent. Quiet place. That's all I needed. My room was small. One bed. One desk. One window facing the trees. And in the top right corner of that window, there was a spider. The first night, I noticed it because its web caught the moonlight. The spider sat still, right in the upper corner. I don't like spiders, but I told myself, it's outside. Not my problem. I closed the curtains and went to sleep. The second night, I opened the curtains again. The spider was still there. But not in the same corner. It was now in the bottom left corner of the window. The web was gone from the top. I froze. Okay, I whispered. Spiders move. Still, something felt strange. The web in the new corner looked old. Thick. Like it had been there for days. I shook my head and laughed at myself. I was overthinking. That night, around 2:13 a.m., I woke up. I don't know why. But I felt like someone was watching me. The room was dark. Only a little streetlight came through the window. And I heard something. A soft tapping. It was coming from the window. I didn't move. I just stared at the ceiling. Slow. Patient. Finally, I forced myself to look. The spider was in the center of the glass. Not in a corner. In the center. And it looked bigger. The next morning, I told the hostel manager. He was an older man. Quiet. Pale face. There's a spider outside my window, I said. He looked at me for a long time. Which room? He asked. 307. His face changed. Then he forced a smile. Spiders move, he said. Same words I told myself. That night, I decided to record it. I set up my phone facing the window. If it moves again, I said to my camera, you'll see it. I turned off the lights and went to bed. At exactly 2:13 a.m., I woke up again. This time, it sounded louder. I didn't look. I couldn't. I felt cold air on my face. Like the window was open. But I knew I had locked it. Slowly, I turned my head. The spider wasn't outside anymore. It was inside. On the glass. Between me and the world. And it wasn't a normal spider. Its legs were too long. Too thin. Bending the wrong way. And behind it, there was something in the trees. A shape. Tall. Too tall. Standing still. Watching my window. Watching me. The spider began to crawl down. Its legs hitting the glass from the inside. I couldn't move. I couldn't scream. My phone camera was still recording. The spider stopped in front of my face. Only inches away. And then, it turned. Not its body. Its head. Spiders don't turn their heads. But this one did. And I heard a voice. Not from outside. Not from the spider. From the corner of the room. You looked at it. I slowly moved my eyes. The top right corner of my room, where the spider was on the first night. The paint was peeling. No. Not peeling. Moving. Like something was pushing from inside the wall. The voice came again. Every night, it gets closer. The spider suddenly dropped from the glass. I screamed and jumped back. But it didn't fall to the floor. It hung in the air. On a thread. Connected to the corner of my ceiling. That same corner. And the shape in the trees began to move. Walking toward the building. Slow. Heavy steps. I grabbed my phone and ran out of the room. The hallway was empty. Silent. I banged on the manager's door. No answer. I looked back toward room 307. The door was slightly open. I know I closed it. From inside the room, I heard tapping. Not on glass. On the walls. Like fingers. I ran outside. I had to see. I looked up at my window. The spider was back in the top right corner. Like the first night. Still. Normal size. But behind the glass. I saw someone standing inside my room. Tall. Thin. Head bent sideways. Watching me from where my bed should be. And then I understood. The spider wasn't moving around the window. It was counting down the corners. Top right. Bottom left. Center. Inside. Each night, it moved closer to me. Not outside. But into my space. Into my room. Into my world. I never went back inside. The next morning, I came with the police. Room 307 was empty. No bed. No desk. No sign anyone had stayed there for years. The manager? No one by that name had worked there. The building records showed something else. In 1948, a guest in room 307 disappeared. The only thing found in the room was a large spider web in the top right corner of the window. They never found his body. Now I'm telling you this for one reason. If you ever stay in a room, and you see a spider in the corner of your window, pay attention. If it changes corners the next night, don't wait for 2:13 a.m. Because once it reaches the inside corner of your room, it's already too late. And it's not the spider you should be afraid of. It's what's learning to come through with it.